I'd like to show a game, or a fragment from a game that I played a few years ago, and I was playing black in this game. I had a fairly dangerous position out of the opening, and then at one point my opponent had a chance to sacrifice a piece. He didn't play that sacrifice, but in the analysis after the game I discovered some interesting possibilities. So this is one of the lines that could have occurred had my opponent sacrificed the piece, or a rook actually at this point. So in this position black is up a rook, but his rook, his extra rook, is not very well placed right now. It's stuck in the corner, and the king is also in some dangerous situation, as it's potentially vulnerable to checks along this diagonal, and at the same time black is up a rook, so if he just manages to consolidate, then white will probably lose. So here white needs to come up with something quite exciting to make the sacrifice work. So as I hinted, if he could only give a check along this diagonal, then the black king would be in big trouble. And the only piece that is holding that d5 pawn is the knight on b6. So white here has a very, very interesting resource, which is queen b6. It does seem like just a very typical sacrifice from some tactics exercise book, but there's a bit of a twist to this. So let's just look at what happens if black tries to take the queen. Say he goes queen b6, then of course white takes on d5, and this is mate. It doesn't really matter if he takes back with a pawn, it's the same thing. What if he, realizing that he can't take back the queen, at least tries to hold on and say play queen e5? Now d5 is protected, and while black is still up in exchange, and white has another move, queen b7. Now there's a lot of threats. The rook is, oops, the rook is being threatened on c8. White is also threatening to capture on d5, and he's also threatening queen f7 mate. So there's a lot of threats, and black can't really defend all this stuff. So queen e5 doesn't really help, and it doesn't really matter if he goes queen d2 or anything else along those lines. But if black looks deeper into the position, he'll realize that bishop d5 is only checkmate because the rook is on f1 and the rook is guarding the f file. And if you could only try to distract the white rook from the f file, then the white sacrifice would lose a lot of its power. So here black has a very crazy response, which is queen e1. This is really the only move in this position, and it does give black some pretty good chances for survival. So white takes, black takes back on b6, and now the position kind of simplifies to this endgame, and white probably has slightly better chances here. So all in all, queen b6 is a very valid sacrifice, but he doesn't quite win yet. So queen e1 is a very worthy response. So I guess the moral of the story is that none of this really happened in the game, but if you look at your games and try to analyze the positions deeper, then you can find some really, really interesting things, like this tactical exchange of shots as in this game.
Hello chess friends, and welcome to Yazarov's Chess Channel, and welcome to our Best Chess Games of All Time series. So in this series we're following the best chess games that have been ever played in chess history, and today I wanted to show you really an immortal chess game played by two legends between Bobby Fischer against Mikhail Tal, the magician from Riga. So the game was played in 1957. Back in the 50s, Bobby Fischer was still sort of a chess prodigy. On the other hand, Mikhail Tal was already a respected grandmaster. And I think in this game, Mikhail Tal a little bit underestimated Bobby Fischer's strength, because he played this Grob opening, and this Grob opening is, I think, not a good opening to play because it had so many weaknesses, and in this game Bobby Fischer will exploit all of the weaknesses that Mikhail Tal created, and this game will end with a beautiful double queen sacrifice by Bobby Fischer, which is an incredible thing. Basically both of them haven't played so many games against each other, and this game really deserves to be on a chess list, although Mikhail Tal played not this good opening, I think, and got punished because of it. So let's see the game. Here we have g4, as I said, played by Mikhail Tal. This is the Grob opening. One of the main ideas here after potential d5 move is to crack the position with the move c4 and then bishop to g2, aiming maybe here against this b7 pawn. So these are the main ideas, but Bobby Fischer shows already his theoretical understanding. He plays the move e5, and here Mikhail Tal responded with the move f3, and Bobby Fischer played the move queen to h4, and it was checkmate. So happy April Fool's Day, guys. See you soon with some more videos, and chess is the best, of course.
Duda is going to go down a piece here. He just resigns before Hikaru can finish the combination, and Nakamura has tied up the match at 5 games apiece here, having solved some of his connection and mouse slip issues. But Duda, I don't expect to make this easy here in the 3-minute portion. John Hules 2 in the Chess TV chat says he thinks Hikaru can play chess, solve quantum mechanics, and watch football at the same time.
Oh, man. Agree to disagree. I don't know if he'll do any of that quantum mechanics, but he can definitely watch football, play chess, and what was the other thing? Stream? He can do those.
Yeah, and often does.
Yeah. Okay, so in this position, this is one of these weird
lines of the Petrov. One of my favorite ways to play it, actually. Something kind of funky, just because you get something different rather than all the symmetry. You got the knight on f4 hitting d5, which is not just symmetrical. A couple of knights on c3, f3, c6, and f6.
But I think black should be doing okay in these.
No, I think black's fine. I like these from a practical perspective. It's kind of funky.
Yeah, it puts you in neutral territory very early. Right? You can't
Yeah.
rely on opening preparation. And we saw Hikaru Nakamura try against Fabiano Caruana in the FIDE-Chess.com Grand Swiss. He put like this subtle H3 move in the white side of just a very calm position. You're just trying for things. He's saying, I don't want my opponent to be able to just blitz out moves based on, whoa! Oh my god! Oh my gosh! That is such a sick move!
That was so awesome. You were talking and I wasn't on camera. I looked first and I looked and I went, woo! Okay, everyone. If you take the queen, it was mate. And now he's got queen A2 for free. Okay, to the back cave back. That was so freaking awesome. I didn't see that coming. Look at this move. Queen A3.
Oh my gosh. That honestly, like, could be move of the year type of
Yeah,
thing.
that was so awesome. And the reason why, it's not just a flashy hope chess. Yes, if you take, it's mate. But you're also threatening queen takes C3 and then bishop A3 mate. And if you do anything else, he just wins the pawn and keeps the mating tack alive. What a move. I mean, this is one of those moments we really wish we had Hikaru on camera, because that was a flippin' shot in the dark right there from Duda that was nasty.
That was so sick.
We see the chat going wild, Chess TV. Duda. And
like how could you not root for a guy who sees moves like queen A3?
That was just so awesome. Look at him zoning in there. He's about to rickroll us.
However, we've seen him waste huge advantages in some of the other games. So he has to be careful here not to let Hikaru out, but rook D6 followed by rook A6 and knight B3 and things like that. Just
the biggest thing for Duda is I think he has to speed up overall, right? Okay, obviously it always sounds like Captain Obvious. You have to play good moves and play them fast. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
But seriously, you can't overthink these early moments. Right now he's still down a little bit on the clock, and if he's going to stay in this match with Hikaru, you've got to keep the speed up.
Man, that was sick.
It was so awesome. It was just like, that's why we watch chess, and some of us still play good chess, not me, but man, oh man.
I mean, these are two of my favorite players, and I'd never root against Hikaru Nakamura when there's speech as well. Queen A1 check. Oh my god! That was sick,
we have a party.
That might be the game of the year.
It was so awesome. I don't care who wins this match.